welcome back to the channel. I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors, and welcome to the Cohutta Wilderness in the middle of August. Oh my goodness, it is August 3rd today. It is 89 degrees outside, and we are camping. Even though it's 89 degrees, we're gonna be cool tonight. We've got the EcoFlow WAVE 2 portable AC heater unit that I bought. I did not get sponsored for this, but EcoFlow, if you're watching, I'm open for business. You know, and it's pretty sweet. It's a little beefy. We'll get into it. I got it on sale on July 4th for $11.99. It came with the unit and an 1100 watt-hour battery attachment. We'll do a walk around with this in a second. Oh my goodness, I'm just like sweating profusely. And normally these two together go for $22.37, but they seem to be having quite a long sale now. Now, I did say this thing is beefy, and it is big. It weighs about 50 pounds with all of it in there. It's 20.4 inches long, 11.7 inches wide, and 13.2 high. So make sure you accommodate the size of this thing. I wasn't sure what to do with it. Traveling around with it actually in my front seat. I put the seat belt around it. Some other specs. This has got 5100 BTU cooling and 6100 BTU heating. We're not testing any of the heating today. We're only going to do the cooling because I'm dying out here. It's quiet though. It's 44 decibels. So we'll turn it on in a few minutes. Now they say it's 5-minute cooling down from 86 to 68 degrees. Well, lucky for us, it is close to 90 degrees right now. It only has a 1-year warranty. Come on, EcoFlow. Let's get a little higher than that, but that's what it is. It says it does 8 hours in eco mode. I haven't been able to get more than 6. So I tested this in my garage pretty extensively with a couple things, and there were a couple things that were concerning as well with it on how it drains out all the moisture. We're in Georgia. It's humid. It's humid today. It is 48% humidity. So yeah, it's that. And what else? Now, one thing I did notice is this bottom battery, when you do recharge it, it charges up in 2 hours. It charges quick. It's got a pretty beefy cable that comes with it, and then it's got this connector that goes between here and here. If you have any other like a Delta, EcoFlow Delta power station, you can actually use their DC connection and not have to use an AC connection that comes in like instead of right here. So let's take a look around the unit. So this thing's kind of space age. It's silver and black. It's got a display on the top here. Here's where the cold air comes out. Here's where the hot air comes out. And here's your intake, all in one unit. It's got your battery down the bottom. This connector right here connects up to this. And this is where you can have AC coming in. Now, with this said, you don't have to have a battery. If you've got shore power somewhere, you can just plug this straight into that and let this thing run at will. I am not as lucky. I do have over here the Blue Eddy AC 180, 1152 watt hours. So that's going to be part of what we do. Right now we've got it hooked to Starlink. Yeah, that's right. We are bouging out in the middle of nowhere because we don't have any cell signal. And so this thing does come with some things. And again, over here's some other stuff, and here's some indicators on the battery. So it comes with a cable. It does come with these piping, which we'll get into in a second, because we are going to take this intake and we're going to pipe it right in there, just like we do with the diesel heaters. And then we might actually take this bigger one right here and put it over here and have it come in for the intake and start circulating the air throughout the system here. It does come with these adapters, so you can put this on here and put the hoses in. We'll do that in a second. It comes with 3 of these. I only brought 2 of them out, and then it does have a drain hose. I tell you what, this didn't work very good. It's got a little connector down here. I had to let this just kind of drain off to the side to make it work. Now, what it really has that's really good is a mobile app. Let's fire that up. All right, guys, so I am connected to this. It does have a control panel at the top, but I will say EcoFlow has a great mobile application. I've heard this about them, and that's true with this. So if we look right here, we've got our unit right here, the Wave 2. If I click on that, it's going to open it up. Let me know that if I look at upper left, my battery is at 100%. I can kind of see it's not turned on. Let's go ahead and turn it on just by flipping the on button. We heard it beep. It's firing up. It's doing a bunch of stuff. We got some blue here. You can start hearing it kick on. It's pretty quiet. Not really loud at all. It's going to be louder right when it first kicks in. Now see here, we're blowing 80-degree air, trying to get it going here. I've got this on max, so if I wanted to go from, I got a couple different modes. I've got manual, I've got max, I've got sleep, and I've got eco. So let's flip this on eco mode, and it's going to kind of set up some stuff for us. It's going to put it 70 degrees, and it's cool. And you can see here at the bottom, I could go to heat, and also it operates as a fan. You turn this on fan, it will just run forever basically. And then you've got your dial here. You can adjust this around as well. So we'll leave it at 70 degrees. Right here, this little bucket, that's the water. So there is a condensation hold in here. I've got this set to where it's going to dump out the water. That's just how I've got it. It's because we are in the South, we will generate buckets of condensation with this today. So already we've got our outlet down to 67 degrees here, you can see, and it is dropping quick. 67, 66.8. So it is coming down fast. So what I want to do now, so you kind of see how this works, and we do have some settings up in the upper right. I could rename this. I can say how long this LCD on the top screen says. I can say, is it automatically draining? Right now I do have it draining externally, so this water is going to flow out. I'll show you in a little bit what I did to kind of help with this, because this thing's not draining that well. What else you got here? You got some ambient lighting, you got unit of measures, all kinds of stuff. Firmware, it'll let you know, when I first got this, I did have to do a firmware update, so it does have electronics, so as new advancements come, you can't update them. But let's go back to here. So now we're down to 59 degrees with the ambient air. Is that right? Wow, okay, I may not actually duct the exhaust into here. I may just put it just straight into here and just let it pull the outside air. That's pretty good, actually. All right, so I put this in, let's just put this up at 70 degrees. And so it's doing quite well. We can see our battery up in the upper left. It lets me know that right now I have 3 hours basically and 39 minutes left at this pace. And let me hook up the stuff and I will come back. So we've got the system up and running now. It's been running for a bit. You can see it flapping in here. This is from the exhaust and it's hot. We've got this, you can start seeing this is getting condensation built up on it too. But I've got it going up into the tent just like we do with the diesel heaters, and it's getting cool. The air is up there, it's nice. I don't really want to open it up, but this is how we're going to be sleeping tonight. This is how we're going to live through 90+ degree Georgia weather. And let's take a look at the app real quick. So even though it is scorching out here, we got our air outlet temperature at 60 degrees right now, even though we're right around 90. We got this set. I'm probably going to turn this off soon because I don't want to burn all the battery going with this. So we'll come back and look at some stuff a little bit later. But this is where we got it going at 70. I've got it on cool right here. If I wanted to go back to eco mode, I could, which I'm going to right now, and it'll kind of set things up a little bit. It moved it up to 75. This ambient air temperature really doesn't matter because I don't have this sitting inside somewhere to where we're trying to get to, so it will never hit it. So we'll just put it there, and so the outlet temperature coming out of here right now is 58 degrees. And the battery says at this point right here, we can run 4 hours and 38 minutes. So we're going to turn this off. We'll come back and talk about our tests afterwards on what went well with it. All right, we've got the EcoFlow WAVE 2 going strong. I got the vent right here coming in, and oh my goodness, does it feel good. It is just cool air. It says it's going to last me about 5.5 hours. I got another battery bank down there. And it was so hot there. It got up to 92 degrees. It just feels really good in here. It's probably about 65 degrees in here. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Well, I will tell you what, even though it was 90 degrees last night, I slept like a baby. That tent pumped out, this thing pumped out as much air as it possibly could. And in eco mode, I will say, it went a lot longer than my tests at home. I don't know if it had to do with the ambient temperature outside or that I was doing it in the garage. But I turned this on about 10:30 last night when we went in, and at 5:30 I heard it kick off. So it went all the way from there into eco mode, and by then, you know, we were already in the mountain cool air at that point in time, and it's pretty nice this morning. We got a ton of rain last night. Did get a little rain on here, but no big deal. This is an IPX rating. Not that you can submerge it, but you know, it can take a little bit of stuff. I have it underneath of this awning here, as well as this one, but we did get a little bit on here. Now, a couple things I want to notice is look at all the condensation. Now, I did have this going over here. I decided to make it go straight up, but there is a ton of condensation on this piping coming with the cold air out from the AC unit up into the tent, and it, you know, it does get all over the place too. So a lot of that. And the other problem I had here is, I don't know if you can see this or not, is the drain. If we look here, this is the tube that comes with it, and it's so little on this end that I can't really get air and water to come out of it at the same time. So with that said, I actually built this little thing here. I wouldn't say built, this is a big magnet. I just shoved it underneath of the drain hole, which is right there. And then, you know, the water just kind of flows out the back like so. And there is a ton of condensation. So that's a big negative. So all in all, I am very happy with this thing. It was ungodly expensive, but I will tell you, I love camping in the summer. There is no one out right now. It is so hot in Georgia, and I guess we're in the second week of August coming into it. So it's a tad, well, I guess the first week of August, pretty warm. So let's talk about the pros of this really quick, because, you know, obviously it did do its job last night. So it being an all-in-one, I am kind of curious about the heater. We'll get to that in the fall. Maybe we'll test it up against the diesel heater. But as far as the AC side of this worked extremely well. I was comfortable in my tent, just like I was comfortable when we hook up the diesel heater in the winter when it's 20 degrees outside. So even in this humid, all the pieces, I was good. I need to work on some of this condensation to get this worked out, but be honest with you, it's dropping on the tailgate and going between the crack between that and the truck, so it's not getting on anything, so I'm not really worried about it. The other thing was flexible usage types. So being able to have these different pipes and these different adapters, and this big one here for if you want to bring in different air coming either from the tent or out. You know, I kind of like that. It gives me some different options. For the camping side, I think this will only ever be the option that I'm using right now, just with this being ducted this way. And it was cold. I will say the air is cold, cold, cold. At one point, I was watching it was getting down to 49, 48 degrees coming out of the pipe. Pretty impressive at that point in time. Let's talk about some cons. It is expensive. You know, $11.99 on sale or whatever it was is insane, even on sale. But, you know, I guess there's a lot of technology in here in the battery. It is an 1100 watt battery that comes with it. What are some other ones? It's bulky. Man, this thing is heavy. At 50 pounds, I'm having to find places to put this. I don't feel comfortable throwing it in the back of the truck while we're driving through the mountains and bumping all over the place. And it's bulky. It's just, you know, it won't go in any of my Roam containers. So those are big. This drain issue, that the hose that they sent with it, it doesn't work. I'm not sure. So the drain's an issue for me. I have found a workaround, and I'm okay with it. It outweighs the ability to have cold air while we're out camping. The 4 to 6 hour battery, you know what? That's okay. I guess that could be looked at as a con, or it could be looked at as a pro. It worked fine for me last night, so I was pretty happy with that. You know, all in all, what would I do different? I might buy a second battery. I'm not sure. You know, they're a little pricey as well. But I am very happy with this whole setup, and I'm looking forward to several years of use. Hey, if you got value out of this, please click that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell to be notified we got new content out. Again, I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors. Thank you for your time.